Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. It's great to be with you this beautiful Thursday morning. Today is Thursday, November 13th, 2025, and the government has reopened. The SBA is continuing to loan money, and we're getting back to more of a level of normalcy. We're going to follow up today and go into some topics that we've heard from many of you, or some of you at least, regarding the new campaign. So, 2 days ago, we had rolled out the free funding proposal campaign. If you missed that rollout, you can go to our YouTube channel. Yesterday, we went through this graphic that is shown here that many of you have been very complimentary of in helping describe not only to you, but for you to use if you're going to be promoting the free funding proposal to use as talking points with your prospects. So thank you for the positive feedback there. But what we needed to do is to address a couple other items. And then, of course, any questions, comments, concerns you have, we'll address. So this is our daily Zoom we have through our nonprofit 509 Pacific, our website. So we have two different types of distribution partnerships. You can be one, you can be both, or of course you can be neither. So we have the ESP reseller. That's the more involved role. That's white label, private label. You're controlling pricing, you're making money on the front end and the back end of the capital raise. So to become an ESP reseller, you would do that still on 509pacific.org, no change. Someone that's just simply looking to get a shelf corp, we have a landing page for it, real simple and easy, and that's the Entrepreneur Starter Pack. So, Entrepreneur Starter Pack is a landing page, and we provide all of our ESP resellers a free landing page that will look just like this. So, if you're thinking about maybe becoming an ESP reseller, you could either go to 509 Pacific, get some information there, or you could even go to entrepreneurstarterpack.com, play around with that landing page, and you would see that's what you would receive for your sales funnel. Someone that's just simply looking for funding that doesn't need a shelf corp can go to a different landing page, which is fundingproposal.org. Again, we provide everyone a free landing page that looks just like fundingproposal.org if you want to be a distribution partner, which we call an affiliate for the free funding proposals. So, from a semantics or a language clarification, an affiliate program is a role where you don't pay anything, you just simply refer in and get paid. Where a reseller, you have a lot more involvement. It's private label or what's called white label. You control the pricing and you make more money as a reseller, but there's more involved. The affiliate approach to the free funding proposal is what I'm going to encourage for many of you because some of you aren't very good closers. You're not really good at closing deals. Well, you can't get any easier than what the free funding proposal is because there's no cost, no upfront cost to the client. They don't have to pay anything before they start seeing benefits. Where when you're selling the shelf corps through the ESP, they are paying a fee to receive that shelf corp. And so you have to be able to get someone to agree to that and sign the contract and pay you money. So some of you, again, are great closers. So you're doing very well as an ESP reseller. Some of you are not very good closers. So I would recommend you consider being an affiliate where you can go to the market where the clients have no out-of-pocket cost. Our tech support line, 903-347-8042. And as I mentioned, we put our trainings up on YouTube. So if you've missed the first couple where we were rolling out the free funding proposal, encourage you to get caught up here. As a 501c3, we are mission based. We have three mandates because of the grant, one of which is to improve financial literacy. Second of which is we give away free shelf corps. Again, shelf corps is regarding the ESP role where we're not providing a shelf corp for the funding proposal. We're just taking people right into the funding process, which we'll talk more about in a moment. But ultimately, the primary goal is to get money into the hands of small business owners, money to start or money to grow a business. That's really what we're here to do, is get money into the hands of clients. What's great, client slash grant participants, what's great is you can be a distribution partner if you'd like, and then you can earn an adult income by facilitating that. Our agenda today is I primarily want to talk about some results, some very positive early results that we're having, and then again, open it up to make sure that everyone understands how this campaign works, how to leverage it, and so forth. All right, so number one on the agenda. So, not all of you have decided to take the free funding proposal campaign out to the marketplace, which it's fine. You can decide if you're doing just fine taking the shelf corps out and collecting money up front from clients. That gets you paid even quicker, and that's fine. However, if you're not strong there, I encourage you to consider this. We have had some real success stories on their distribution partner side, whereby some of you are literally enrolling 10 or more, or even as much as 20 of these per day. And we've only been doing this for a couple of days. And that kind of makes sense, right? If you're solving someone's problem, which is they need access to capital to start or grow a business, and you have a proposition that has no out-of-pocket cost, if you're an effective communicator and you have some leads to talk to, you should be able to enroll a lot of people. So the bottom line is we see some of you knocking it out of the park. How many, let's do a quick survey between now, which is the 13th of November, and the end of the month. So we got about 2 weeks left. How many do each of you think that you might be able to, well, let me be more specific. How many do you project to enroll in a free funding proposal between now and the end of the month? So we have 632 of you on. So a deal, how many do you think? Amanda, Ben, Benita, Bernard, Carla, Chris, asking each of you to just do a quick response into the Q&A. It's like a chat function of Zoom with just a number. How many do you anticipate that you'll enroll between now and the end of the month? Now, if you say zero, that's okay. That's either because you don't want to be distribution partner or you're focused on the shelf corp. So again, zero is acceptable. I'm just curious because part of what we need to do is plan for the growth. You are our distribution team. You are our tentacles out into the community. So we've got responses of 35 between now and the end of the month, 50 between now and the end of the month, 15. So again, I mean, you're paid for each deal, and so if you don't create any deals, you don't make any money. If you do it, you do get paid. But just curious. But if the rest of you wouldn't mind taking a moment and go ahead and responding, just so we can kind of plan accordingly. Okay, so but the bottom line is the first result that we wanted to discuss is it's going really well from those of you that are distribution partners. Now, let's talk about it from a client's perspective. Let's go back and look at this graphic for a moment that we rolled out yesterday. So there are three columns here, three steps in the process where someone goes to your landing page, and your landing page will look just like fundingproposal.org. It'll be linked to you, and they'll be able to get a free funding proposal. No out-of-pocket cost. They don't pay on promises, they pay on results. There's no hard inquiries, all those things we talked about yesterday that's listed here. So the first economic benefit to your clients that you feed in to the free landing page that we give you that looks just like the fundingproposal.org is going to be their first tranche, their first round of funding. There's more benefits forthcoming from the second and the third boxes, but today let's just focus on the first one because the first is first. So let's look at some of the examples we had from yesterday. And I could give you a lot more than three, but I picked three with limited time. So we have a client, and this is the client's initials. So it's a real client, it's verifiable, it's not made up. This one client received about 100 offers. about 100 offers yesterday. And again, no hard inquiries, and the client, the grant participant, can decide which offers they want to accept, which they want to decline. One lender offered her 20 different offers, totaling over $250,000. Another lender, a different lender, offered her 21 offers, over 200,000. Third lender offered her also 21, over 200,000 as well. And then the fourth lender also offered 21 offers. So, wow. So this client, from just the first step, within the first 24 hours into this process, received over 100 cash offers, no hard inquiries, and access. If you cumulatively added that up, close to $1 million on just the first tranche, on just the first tranche. And there's more to go, right? There's the second step, and then the third step, and the third step being the biggest. So I think when we talk about success stories, I want you to be a success story, because if you're a success story, you're going to have greater passion and commitment, and be more convincing when you talk to others. So that's why we're asking everyone that wants to be an affiliate. You don't have to pay to be an affiliate. You don't have to pay to get the landing page. You don't have to pay to get the drip marketing, but just go through it. Now, everyone will get at least one offer. Different people will get different offers. I'm highlighting some of the success stories yesterday, and I don't know that any of you could refute this is a nice success story. It's real. So if you wanted to share that with others, you could, but each individual, they're going to get their own funding proposal results. They're not going to get the results that IY received. They might get more, they might get less, certainly will be different. So we're not here to say, oh, come get a free funding proposal and you'll get $500,000 just like IY did. You might get more, you might get less. So that's why we have to be really cautious, careful, and not say, well, IY got over $500,000, you will too. They might get more, they might get less. But again, that's just the first step in the sequence. We can guarantee the results on the third box because we've done the second. The first is baseline credibility. So that's one example of a success story from yesterday. We have another client, another real client. Initials are TB. Client had 6 different lenders offer some significant offers. Lender 1 offered 22 offers over 100,000. Lender 2, 20 offers over 100,000. Lender 3, 4 offers. Lender 4, 6 offers. Lender 5, 3 offers. Lender 6, 18. If we add those up, what is it around? We'll call it 60. So second client from yesterday, client TB, received over 60 offers, over $250,000 of offers. So does getting a free funding proposal work? It absolutely does. But different people will get different results based upon their baseline credibility. We can get everyone the large funding over on the right-hand side because of this middle step, which we're not talking about these two today. We're talking about the first one. So Mark, and I love Mark. Mark's contesting this. Mark says, this is not true. Mark's typing. Well, you're wrong, Mark. Everyone fills out the same app. It runs through the same system. We've got about 40 different lenders, and everyone gets at least one offer. Now, I'm not saying that everyone gets all the same offers that IY or TB does, but Mark's falling into that same fallacy that I'm warning you all not to do. You can't go through and assume that everyone will get the same. We don't live in a land, we live in a land of equal opportunity, but not everyone's going to get the same amount of offers. Let's say TB could be pissed off, right? TB might be on the Zoom right now and say, God damn it, IY got almost $1 million and I fucking only got $250,000. This is a scam. No, IY is more credible. We're running the same app through the same lenders. Baseline credibility is going to determine what they get up front. But regardless of that, we can get everyone the large capital raise. Why? because of the middle step, which is not our conversation today. And then one more success story. So again, I need you. I want you to be a success story. I'd like you to go through it if you're going to be an affiliate. If you aren't willing to go through it, then we really don't want you to be an affiliate, because that firsthand success is going to create a higher level of commitment. But regardless, third client, just briefly, DS, another real client from yesterday. Between three lenders, received right about 60 offers and over $250,000 total. So does this work? Yes. Are the results of the funding proposal step one the same for everyone? It's not. It's not. It's going to vary. Now, everyone will get at least one offer, but many people get lots of offers, just like I demonstrated. But even for people that don't get a whole lot on the first tranche, that does not prevent us from being successful over here on the end goal. But a lot of people get really nice first tranche offers, and I've just demonstrated just simply 3 examples. These people all should be ecstatic. All right, so we've covered that our distribution partners are doing great. If you're not off to a fast start with this campaign, we probably need to figure out why. And then second, we said, well, this is really working really nicely for participants. Uh, what do you need us to cover? What is it that we need to discuss today so you feel like that at the end of this Zoom here in 14 minutes or so, that you're going to be ready to go out and execute, to go help people to earn an adult income? Uh, okay, so Lamy says that okay, so Laney's wanting the affiliate landing page. Okay, great. So the way that anyone becomes an affiliate, you don't have to pay anything, but we want you to participate. So what do you need to do? And we covered this yesterday. You're going to go to fundingproposal.org. It's going to bring up our landing page. But by the way, your landing page is going to look the same, but you don't have one yet. So you go to fundingproposal.org. You fill it out. It puts you into this 3-step sequence. As long as you complete this first step, we assume that you'll finish the rest, but as long as you complete the first step, then we will make you an affiliate at no cost. We'll give you a landing page at no cost. We'll set up your drip marketing at no cost. We'll pay you for referring people in with no cost. But you need to walk the walk. And that's just our lesson. You can argue the point, but if you're not committed enough to go through the steps yourself, why do you think that you're going to be able to share that with others? Now, again, someone like Lamy's probably going to get 2 million on his first tranche. So Lamy's an outlier. But regardless of how much you get, it's not about how much funding or how many offers you got, because you're not them and they're not you. But it's to show the system works. The system works. So anyone that feels like somehow we're dropping the ball and not getting you set up as an affiliate, I don't know how that can happen. You go to fundingproposal.org, you fill it out, and so you're going through this journey to get typically 1 million or more. All we need you to do is, as long as you complete step 1 of the 3, then we know that you have sincerity, that we believe you'll follow through and be an active affiliate. So at that time, we'll get you set up. Okay. Let's see. Starmain's asking about the performance fee that clients pay, and that's correct. And we state that here. So this is not a free program to clients. It's not free, because if it were free, how would we pay you? So we charge a performance fee of 10% after clients get funded. And if you look at industry averages, that's very reasonable. So 10% performance fee after they get funded. So Starmain's clarifying that, and that's true. So that isn't, I guess, terribly relevant to what we're talking about here, other than the fact, well, I guess I see Starmain's point. So let's say that Starmain is a reseller, and she said, yeah, I want to be an affiliate. I want to use this because this is a good sales funnel to reach out to more people. So she's going to make $250 up front for each person she refers in. And let's say that she referred in, which I don't think she did, but let's say that she referred in IY. So let's say IY doesn't accept all of these offers, but IY just accepts 200,000, for example. So Starmain's right. She would get 5% as a back end comp of that 200,000, which would be $10,000. So you got it, Starmain. That's the way it works. All right, let's see. Um, Carla says she's learning how to strategize. And ultimately that's what you need to do. The system's built, right? If you'll come in and if you want to be an affiliate, again, doesn't cost you anything, go to fundingproposal.org, participate, at least participate in the first column here, and we'll get you set up, no cost, and you start making money. But I think Carla's point is, yeah, you do need to have leads, right? And that's true with anything that's sales related. No leads, no clients. So you'll need to do that. Mr. Certain asks, can you be both an affiliate and a reseller? Absolutely. It's two different campaigns. As a reseller, you're selling the entrepreneur starter pack, and that includes the shelf corp and those deliverables that we've talked about before. If you're not familiar with that, you can go back to the training. So we call that phase one. So resellers start with phase one, whereby affiliates just jump right in to phase two. And by going into phase two first, then the participants have no out of pocket cost. They start getting funded. And I think that's what Mr. Certain's getting at. So let me bring this up. So let's go down to client DS. So let's say the client DS just ended up accepting 100,000. That's it. Left a lot of money on the table for whatever reason, but that's fine. So let's say Mr. Certain referred in client DS. DS has 100,000. Great. So from that, Mr. Certain gets 5,000 on the back end. So that's a good start. Gets 250 for referring him in as an affiliate. Great. So Mr. Certain's at $5,250 in income right off the bat. But from the client, the grant participant's perspective, DS, what now? They have 100,000 that went into their bank account, real cash, and that will allow them to fund the entire process, have no other out of pocket cost. So if they needed to get a business phone number, they don't have to go pull money out of their family household budget. We've put literally 100,000 into them, into their pocket already, that any type of incidental cost would cover. So that's the way the model's designed, as we've talked about. It's so the average client, the typical client, should have no out-of-pocket cost from beginning to end. Now, are there outliers? Sure, but for normal, typical, average clients, they should have no out-of-pocket cost from the beginning to the end, because we're starting with getting them an influx of cash right away. All right, let's see here. Matthew's confirming, yeah. So if you could, as the questions have been, as Mr. Certain asked, you can be a reseller if you want, you can be an affiliate if you want, or you can be both. The reseller has more involvement, but it has more income potential. I would recommend everyone just simply start as an affiliate. Keep it simple, start earning some income, build your confidence, and then later maybe consider becoming a reseller. That would be my recommendation. Now, some of you are really good closers and you're going to want to jump in and be a reseller right away. And that's fine. You're allowed to do that. But if you're not a strong closer, going out and closing people, even though the shelf corp's a valuable proposition, it requires money out of pocket. This here, a monkey could do it, right? When there's no out of pocket cost and it's a great value proposition, and we're seeing the type of results that we're seeing, I mean, you don't have to be very sharp or very committed or very involved to be able to make this simple pitch and get people involved. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns with it? But my takeaway from this morning is simply it's working great. We're only 3 days in. Now we beta tested it some before we rolled out to all of you, but we're 3 days into the hard launch and it's going great, right? So the proposition is that you and I can go help people get money to start or grow a business, at least 100,000, typically closer to 1 million. And if they're the average client, the typical client, they will have no out-of-pocket costs from beginning to end. And again, I understand, as Mark's mentioning, there can be outliers, but for the normal client, the normal circumstance, we can help them get 1 million or more in business funding, and it will take nothing out of pocket. The program will sustain itself. That's the way it's designed for your normal average participant. And we've shown you several examples of how that worked just yesterday. With that being said, if you want to get a free funding proposal just for yourself, what do? Go to fundingproposal.org. If you want to be an affiliate and help others and get paid, what do? Go to fundingproposal.org, fill it out. We'll get you set up. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow morning. Have a good day. Bye bye.